It took no words to remind the crowd why they came. 3 days after he was ambushed and shot twice in the face, St. Louis Police Sergeant Tom Lake brought nearly 18,000 people to their feet to kick off the 30th anniversary of Guns N' Hoses.
I had tears to my eyes. It was very touching.
Made you think about what the people are going through.
Wednesday night, on its traditional night before Thanksgiving, firefighters and police officers went toe-to-toe, raising money for Backstoppers, adding to the $5.5 million they've raised over 30 years to support the families of fallen first responders and those critically injured in the line of duty. Doing so in a year that's seen 10 police officers shot or injured in just the St. Louis region just since the summer, including 33-year-old St. Louis County officer Blake Snyder, shot and killed in the line of duty, leaving behind a 2-year-old son and a wife with the strength to open the tournament with a 10-count tribute.
Man, it's great to be home. It's great to see everybody that supported me through this.
Back from rehab in Colorado, Baldwin officer Mike Flamian showed up to offer support to a community he says has done the same for him since he was shot in the back on a traffic stop in July. The shooting left him paralyzed, but Flamian says he insists on moving forward.
I think I'm doing pretty well compared to, unfortunately, what's happened to some of my other brothers and sisters. 3 stories of service and sacrifice, honored for a night by a community that's promised its support for a lifetime. Just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
The annual Guns N' Hoses boxing match tomorrow night has raised millions of dollars over the years for Backstoppers, the organization that helps the families of fallen first responders. But thanks to one man's compassion and talent, the fighters won't be the only ones in the boxing ring on Wednesday night.
Sometimes all the color in this world seems to disappear. That's when Dennis Seiberg goes to work, trying to bring some of it back.
Painting is something that, will last forever.
The 57-year-old studied art in college and then got sidetracked. He opened Seiberg's restaurant on Gravois with his 3 brothers and 2 sisters back in 1981.
We've grown since then. We have 8 locations now.
In fact, for the last few weeks, he's turned the banquet room of Helen Fitzgerald's restaurant and pub into his art studio. His canvas is his escape from the kitchen.
I do lots of landscapes and lots of florals. I do lots of children. I love doing portraits of children.
But this time of year, his oils often get diluted with tears.
It does really take a toll sometimes.
On Wednesday night, Seiberg's latest portraits will be on display at the Guns N' Hoses boxing event and then given to the families of all the fallen first responders from the past year.
This is Leonard's room, his memory room. This is where we hang out a lot.
Darnita Riggins never misses Guns N' Hoses, but 8 years later, she still misses her husband every day. It was November 2008 when firefighter Leonard Riggins rushed to help after witnessing a car wreck. His wife says he'd always stop to help. This time, though, the driver was a carjacker, and Riggins was shot and killed.
Deep down in my heart, I do wish he hadn't stopped. I do. But what do you do?
That's him.
That's him. That was his DNA.
But above the fireplace in the living room, Leonard is still watching over his family.
So that smile that you see on his face, it just brings joy into my home.
The pain was so fresh, Darnita can barely remember meeting Dennis the night she got the painting.
But I would love to be able to say something to him in the state of mind I am in now.
And what would you say?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. May God bless you.
He could charge hundreds or even thousands of dollars, but Dennis paints all these portraits for free.
It's just a gift that I have that I can share with other people and do some good with it.
His latest labor of love is for a young widow and her 2-year-old son, St. Louis County Officer Blake Snyder.
This little guy is going to know Dad. Whether he's there or not, he's going to know who his dad was.
Officer Snyder is just one of 4 new portraits this year.
I guess the goal is to paint none.
None. That's our goal.
When words fail, his brushstrokes speak. Fallen first responders that will soon be going home, thanks to an artist that is their color guard.
Hopefully this will bring some kind of comfort to them.
Dennis often does more than one painting for a family, and he never charges a dime. He says it's the least he can do.
This is something that happens in the morning whenever possible.
We try and skate together as much as we can.
St. Louis police officers and firefighters playing some hockey. Although some are experienced at the game,
Not your average beer leaguers.
they'll be the first to admit
Still trying to catch my breath.
you won't mistake them for Gretzky or Hull.
Well, it's not the NHL, I'll give you that.
It's a little troubling when you do see some footage of yourself and you're like, wow, I look nothing like the real deal.
But now is the time to step it up.
Get back!
Make sure we're in our best old man game day abilities.
Because as part of the NHL Winter Classic,
We're beyond honored by the NHL.
they're going to skate at Busch Stadium.
Opportunities like these just don't come along too often.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
I can't even wrap my head around it.
They'll play in the Battle of the Badges, a morale boost for the boys in blue.
The guys on the street had a rough year.
This is definitely a pick-me-up.
It'll be St. Louis County officers against St. Louis County firefighters.
On the ice, we've definitely had our disagreements here and there.
There will be no love lost.
This is for bragging rights.
We want to prove we're better.
We definitely don't want to lose.
The real winners, though, will be the charities that'll benefit from the game, including Backstoppers.
Without them, there'd be a lot of people in bad shape.
And in the end, that's really what it's all about. Teamwork for a great cause.
When we're off the ice, I mean, we're all one family.
Rennie Knott, News Channel 5, on your side.
Early in life, Megan Morrison learned about duty and sacrifice.
It's very devastating because I know exactly how the family feels. I know what they're going through.
In 2002, her father, Captain Rob Morrison, died while fighting a fire. Thursday, she knows the streets will be lined like this once again, this time for Officer Snyder.
I remember we had overwhelming support when my dad passed away, and I'm just so blessed that people are doing the same for the Snyder family.
Megan and her family own the bar with other current and former first responders who are all doing their part by donating 15% of Wednesday's profits to Backstoppers.
I know Backstoppers, they were there for my family and they're going to be there for their family just as much. And I just really hope that they know that there's people looking out for them.
This was very close to home, very close to where we live and our place of business. This was a hard hit for everyone in this community.
Although more than a decade has passed since her father's death, management here say danger faced by first responders on the job has only gotten worse.
They get up every morning and they go to work and they don't know and their families don't know if they're going to come home.